200 kilometers away from the Pyramid of Giza, there is a point near the coast of the Red Sea. There is an area that is called Wadi al-Jarf. If seen, then here far and wide only barren limestone mountains and mounds exist. But here there is also a secret in which some such secrets are hidden which were buried 4,500 years ago today. Yes, in this desolate place, in the middle of the desert, there is a limestone mound which from above on looking looks like an ordinary mound. But inside it, by cutting stones, many tunnels were made, and these tunnels were blocked with the help of thousands of tons heavy stones. 45 centuries ago, ancient Egyptians had hidden something here for sure that they did not want to bring in front of the world. But when for the first time the stones were removed from in front of these tunnels, then the scenes inside shook the whole world. Welcome once again to the videos of Rackham TV. Viewers, Egypt's magnificent pyramids and every inch of land here is filled with charming mystery. By the way, in all of Egypt, up till now 118 pyramids have been found, but it is feared that many pyramids are still hidden under the sand mounds in the Egyptian and African deserts. For now, the pyramids that exist in front of the world, among them the biggest is present in Egypt's city Cairo, which is called the Pyramid of Khufu, 480 feet high. This pyramid was built by Egyptian King Khufu, while right next to it, 450 feet high, this pyramid was built by King Khufu's son King Khafre during his reign. The surprising thing is that to build each one pyramid, 25 lakh limestone square and rectangular blocks were used, and the weight of each one block is said to be 2,500 kg. This is that much weight as the weight of 2 hatchback cars comes to be. Taking so much weight up to the height of 480 feet and placing each one block at the perfect angle is such a task which in today's era, with the help of machinery only, performing it can take many years. So think, how would this work have been done 45 centuries ago without machinery? This is such a mystery that for the last several hundred years has kept the world in wonder. The place where these pyramids were built, this place in some era used to be a flourishing city of the ancient Egyptians. But then due to unknown reasons this whole area sank several feet inside the sand. In the year 1798, when French military leader Napoleon came to Egypt to conquer, then the pyramids and this sphinx were sunk more than halfway inside the sand. For the next 100 years, excavation work kept going on here to remove the sand. And in 1980, for the first time here, a major discovery happened. Next to the Pyramid of Khafre, the skeletons of those workers were found who had built the Pyramid of Khufu's son Khafre. After inspecting many skeletons, it was found out these people were not slaves because they were fed good food and their bandaging was also done. These workers, in exchange for building their king's pyramid, as an honor were buried right next to the pyramid. Unfortunately, after King Khufu's death, this place was at the mercy of looters for many years. Because of this reason, neither any papyrus meaning written document was found here, nor was any such evidence found from which it could be found out that these pyramids were built when and how. Even the many statues of other Egyptian kings or their mummies have already been found. But the destruction of time neither left any proven statue of King Khufu, nor did the looters leave their mummy. Only one statue the size of a finger of these was found, which has been kept in the Cairo Museum. To know more about Egyptian King Khufu and about his life, it was necessary to go outside of Giza and investigate. 200 kilometers away from the pyramid sites, on the coast of the Red Sea, archaeologists found an old seaport on which there was suspicion that it was used in the time of King Khufu. This broken fallen structure found near the sea was so big that in it comfortably many hundred people could live and work. When in this area further searching was done, then here from inside the sea boat anchors were also discovered. In that era, anchors made from stones were used, in which ropes were tied to park big boats. Hold stone anchors were found here in heavy quantity, from which this thing is proof that this 4,500 years ago used to be the seaport of the ancient Egyptians. If this was a port, then obviously the boats running in it or their parts would be kept somewhere around here only. And the experts were in search of these same boats. After many years of hard work, finally Egyptologists found, a few kilometers away from the port, inside a mound of limestone, Many tunnels dug with great skill, whose entrance was blocked with the help of big stones. There were enough chances of this thing that this was that place where ancient Egyptians used to hide their boats from looters. But the archaeological team did not have knowledge at all of this thing, that from here they were going to get some special evidence more than boats. When the stones were removed from in front of the entrance of these tunnels, then inside that scene was seen to be found, which for the last 4,500 years nobody had also seen. In quite big and spacious store-like tunnels, no proven boat was found, but many parts of boards were definitely found. Besides these parts, here on many stones King Khufu's name was also found written. French Egyptologist Pierre Taulet was well familiar with this name, because they had seen this name before also on many hieroglyphics. What was written on it? Its meaning is, "Our God Khufu protect us." Ancient Egyptians used to consider their king as God, and wherever also they worked, there they definitely wrote the name of their god, meaning king. This name written on stone was a sign of this thing, that this ancient storeroom was used in the time of King Khufu. When further research was done on this secret store, then amazingly from here in very bad condition papyrus was also found, which was pressed under a heavy stone. Papyrus is like a thick paper which was prepared from the papyrus plant. In that era, all paperwork was done on these papyri only. The Egyptologists and their team who had come here to search for boards, but now they had gotten a very important document. And here it is also necessary to tell that among the papyri found from the whole world, this was the oldest. To understand what was written in this document, it is necessary that first it be restored. After the hard work of whole 6 years, when it was restored, then some glimpses of King Khufu's era started to appear. The one writing this papyrus was a supervisor named Mirer who used to work for King Khufu. This was a kind of record book in which the supervisor used to write whatever work he did with his 40 workers. Ancient Egyptians in their language used graphics. Because of this reason, looking at these graphics and understanding and then making its logic is quite difficult work for the Egyptologists. The biggest question which was troubling was that what was the supervisor doing here with his 40 workers, and what work did he do for King Khufu? What work did he do? After many years of hard work, from the papyrus, it was found out that the supervisor named Mirer used to unload copper from the boat, and with the help of donkeys used to take it to the Nile River, from where again loading it on boats he used to deliver the copper to the pyramid site. Knowing this information, Egyptologists started to understand the whole story. In that era, iron did not used to exist. Because of this reason, Mirer and his team used to sit in boats and go across the sea to the Sinai Peninsula. In Sinai, even today, considerable copper is found, and from their loading copper they used to come back on board. They used to load the copper on donkeys and take it to the Nile River, from where again loading them in boats they used to deliver to the pyramid site. Egyptologists believe that only in one time they would deliver so much copper that for the next 2 years again, need would not arise. And that's why for those 2 years they used to disassemble their boats and keep them in this secret storeroom of Wadi al-Jarf. But the question is that in the construction of the pyramid, where was copper used, while here only limestone and granite stones are visible? Actually, with the help of copper they used to make those tools which were used in making limestone blocks. A few kilometers away from the pyramid site, big mountains of limestone exist, and this place is called Tara. Egyptologists have found many proofs from this place from which it appears that the limestone blocks for building the pyramid were cut from here only. But finally, how were 2.5-ton heavy blocks separated from the mountain, and that too in perfect shape? To know this, it was necessary that an experiment be done yourself with the help of copper tool. The archaeologists' team, on the limestone first by drawing a shape of a block, defined their work area, and then with the help of copper tools started to cut it. First, cutting the limestone was quite difficult, but then water was used. After the sprinkling of water, it was noticed that the speed of cutting limestone increased 5 times. It took 5 workers whole 8 days to cut 1 block, but archaeologists believe that because ancient Egyptians were quite experienced. Because of this reason, they would do this work in 4 to 5 days only. Egyptologists and archaeologists were now seeing the knots of the construction of the Khufu pyramid getting untangled. Just by getting one important document in hand, they had now come to know that from where copper was imported, how a team of 40 workers with a supervisor used to hide their boards in the secret storeroom in Wadi al-Jarf, and how big blocks of limestone were cut with the help of copper tools. The team of experts now had to know that after cutting the limestone blocks, how they were delivered to the top of the pyramid at the height of 480 feet. Unfortunately, no such hole was left in the pyramids from which it could be found out. Because of this reason, to know this also it was necessary to search for evidence away from the pyramid site. 300 kilometers away from the pyramid site in Giza, in the middle of the scorching heat of the desert, the place of Hatnub exists. Here the team of archaeologists found that place from where ancient Egyptians used to extract a special type of stone for making statues. This stone is known by the name of Egyptian alabaster, from which Egyptian kings used to get their statues made. To make such big statues, obviously from where a quite big stone would be extracted, and that too in one piece. How was this special stone extracted from many feet below the earth and brought up? To know this, only more workers and the team of archaeologists had come here. This site was also quite special for the archaeologists because here also King Khufu's name was found at place to place. For the last 45 centuries no work had been done on the stone quarry. Because of this reason, with the passing of time here, quite sand and debris had gathered. But the experts are quite hopeful that they will definitely get some special information from here. For many months here digging work kept going on, but besides debris nothing was able to be found from here. But finally that day did come, when from here the first hole bloomed. Many feet below the earth, buried under the debris, stairs and a ramp-like thing appeared. After further digging, some unique cuts also emerged on the stairs. On both sides stairs, in the middle a ramp whose slope was around 25%, and the unique cuts made on the stairs. Why finally were they made? Experts believe that all this was made only for taking the stone coming out of the quarry up. After quite thinking and consideration, this result was drawn that in these pits, wooden trunks were put. The big block of stone which was tied with ropes, and those ropes used to go twisted from these wooden trunks, from which the workers had ease in pulling the stone. It can be believed that this wooden trunk used to do the work of a pulley in that era. In modern cranes and lifters, also you would have seen the pulley system. By using a pulley, the load on the motor of the crane reduces up to 50%. This thing had now become quite clear that on the middle ramp the block of stone was placed, while on the stairs of both sides the workers used to pull the stone block up with the help of ropes and wooden trunks. While to reduce the friction of the stone block, sand was also used. Archaeologists and experts had now solved to quite extent the mystery of taking 1,000 kg heavy stone blocks up. If at the place of Hatnub, from this stone quarry through this same method stone blocks were lifted up, then there are quite more chances of this thing that during the construction of the pyramid. Also these types of ramps were made, and there also the limestone blocks were pulled up like this only. Viewers, for 1,500 years have passed since the Great Pyramids were built, and for the last 300 years they have kept the whole world entangled in different mysteries. No doubt archaeologists and experts have come to know quite much about these pyramids, but even today the construction of the pyramids is considered the biggest mystery of the world, to solve which research is still going on. Hope this video of Rackham TV also you people will like and share a lot. Thank you very much for your people's loving comments. We'll meet in the next amazing video.